Emma Carson clutched her worn clipboard and her 7-year-old son's hand as she stood before the glass doors of Bennett Consulting Group, her heart racing. The morning felt impossible from the start. "Remember what we discussed, Tyler," she whispered, kneeling to meet his gaze. "You must be extremely quiet. Sit in the break room with your books and tablet. Don't disturb anyone. Can you manage that for me?" Tyler nodded solemnly, his brown eyes too mature for his years. "I'll be good, Mom, I promise." Emma's throat tightened. At 28, she'd endured 3 years as a single mother since her husband left, abandoning her with a toddler and overwhelming debt. She'd clawed her way from receptionist to junior accounts manager through sheer willpower. Yet the struggle persisted endlessly. Each day demanded delicate balance between childcare, work obligations, and the constant dread that one mistake would topple everything. This morning, that terror became reality. Her babysitter had texted at 5:30 a.m. family emergency. Couldn't watch Tyler. Emma had exhausted every backup option. She couldn't afford to miss work. She was already treading dangerously after requesting time off last month when Tyler fell ill. So she stood there, defying company policy by bringing her son, praying no one would notice or care. They reached the break room safely. Emma arranged Tyler's backpack of books, his tablet loaded with educational games, and his packed snack in the corner. "I'll check on you hourly," she promised. "Text me if you need anything." "And Tyler, I know, Mom, stay quiet, don't bother anyone." Tyler offered a small smile. "It's okay, I've got this." Emma kissed his forehead, tears welling, and proceeded to her desk. For 3 hours all remained well. Emma tackled her morning duties, glancing at her phone regularly for updates from Tyler. Nothing. He was perfect, just as promised. Then at 10:00, her supervisor Linda appeared at her desk, her expression grim with disapproval. "Emma, I need to see you in my office immediately." Emma's stomach plummeted. She followed Linda down the hallway, weaving through excuses, explanations, anything that might save her position. Linda shut the office door and faced her, arms crossed. "Is there a child in our break room, Linda? I can explain. Do you have any idea how inappropriate this is?" "This is a professional workplace, Emma, not a daycare. I know, and I'm deeply sorry. My babysitter had an emergency with no other options available. Tyler has been entirely quiet, not disturbing anyone. I promise this won't recur." "You're right. It won't happen again," Linda replied coldly. "Because you're fired, effective immediately." "This is the final straw, Emma. You've been unreliable for months, calling in sick, leaving early, now bringing your child to work. We need someone dependable." "Please," Emma choked out, hiding the desperation in her voice. "I need this job. Tyler and I will lose our apartment. Please, Linda, I'll work overtime. I'll accept a pay reduction, just don't fire me. The decision stands. HR will process your termination papers. You have 1 hour to gather your belongings and exit the building." Linda's expression remained unchanged, refusing to take Tyler with her. Emma returned to her desk in a daze. Colleagues whispered and avoided eye contact around her. Everyone had witnessed her humiliation. Packing her few personal items into a box, she heard commotion near the elevators. The CEO was present, an unusual occurrence. Michael Bennett, the 35-year-old founder of Bennett Consulting Group, was renowned for brilliance yet emotionally distant, preferring spreadsheets to people. Emma disregarded the excited murmurs. She cared only about how she'd feed her son next week. Heading toward the break room to retrieve Tyler, she heard her name, Emma Carson. She turned to find Michael Bennett standing behind her. Up close, he was younger than expected, with dark hair and sharp features softened by genuine concern. "Yes, Mr. Bennett, I heard you were recently terminated. Is that accurate?" Emma felt fresh embarrassment flood her. Of course he'd heard. The CEO likely reviewed all dismissals. "Yes, sir. I was just collecting my son and leaving." "Why were you fired?" Emma swallowed hard. "I brought my child to work. My babysitter had an emergency and I had no alternatives. I know it violated policy, but where is your son now?" "In the break room. He's remained quiet all morning, causing no disturbance." "Show me." Confused, Emma guided Michael to the break room. Tyler sat exactly where she'd left him, cross-legged in his blue hoodie, absorbed in a space book. He appeared small, vulnerable, and Emma's eyes stung again. Michael lingered in the doorway, observing Tyler for a long moment, then surprised everyone by sitting beside him. "What are you reading?" Michael asked. Tyler looked up startled, then presented the book. It's about black holes. They're amazing. They can trap light and everything. I know, Michael said gently. I used to read space books when I was your age. Tyler's face brightened. Really? What's your favorite planet? Saturn. I like the rings. Michael smiled. Emma noticed a shift in his expression, something tender and human. Can I share something, Tyler? When I was 7, just like you, my mother sometimes brought me to her office. Emma's breath caught. She was a single mom, Michael continued quietly. She worked as a secretary at a law firm. When she couldn't afford a babysitter, she'd bring me to work. I'd sit in the break room like you with books and homework, trying to be invisible. Tyler's eyes widened. What happened? One day, her boss discovered. He fired her on the spot, declared it unprofessional, that children didn't belong in offices. Michael's jaw tightened with recollection. I never forgot that feeling. Watching my mother cry, learning it was because of me, knowing someone decided we weren't worth the risk. He gazed at Emma, seeing tears in his own eyes. I founded this company because I recalled being that child, because I promised myself that if I ever gained influence, I'd use it to ensure no one chose between their job and family. He stood up. Emma, you're not fired. In fact, I'm promoting you to senior accounts manager, effective immediately with a 20% raise. Emma stared, unable to comprehend what she was hearing. I what? Furthermore, Michael continued, his voice strengthening, I'm announcing a new company policy today. Bennett Consulting Group will implement an on-site child care program for employees. Until that's operational, any employee facing child care emergencies may bring their child to work. We'll establish a supervised space. He glanced around the break room at the few colleagues who'd gathered, curious about why the CEO sat cross-legged with a child. This company thrives on the belief that good people merit good opportunities. Emma Carson is an exceptional employee navigating impossible circumstances, rather than punish her for humanity. We'll support her and any colleague in similar situations. Linda stepped into the doorway, her face pale. Mr. Bennett, I was merely following company policy. Then the policy was incorrect, Michael said firmly. It changes immediately. Linda, I need to discuss how this situation was managed in my office. He turned back to Tyler. Tyler, your mother mentions your interest in space. Would you like to see my office? I have a telescope up there. Tyler looked at Emma, who nodded, still stunned. May I, Mom? Go ahead, sweetheart. Michael led Tyler toward the elevators, pausing to look back. My office. 1 hour. We'll discuss your new role and responsibilities. And Emma, thank you for reminding me why I began this company, for showing me that I'm still that child who sat in break rooms hopping not to be seen, for giving me the opportunity to be better than the person who fired my mother. 1 year later, Emma stood in Bennett Consulting Group's new child care center, a vibrant, cheerful space on the second floor with toys, books, art supplies, and 3 full-time caregivers. Tyler played comfortably with other employees' children at home. The initiative succeeded immediately. Employee retention soared. Productivity climbed, and Bennett Consulting earned features in business magazines as a model of progressive workplace policies. Yet for Emma, transformation ran deeper than policy. She'd advanced twice more, leading her own team. She'd relocated to a better apartment. Tyler thrived in school. Most unexpectedly, she forged an unanticipated friendship with Michael Bennett. He visited her office that afternoon carrying 2 coffees. Got a moment for the man who rescued my career, always. Michael settled in, visibly nervous. I need to ask you something, and feel free to decline. This won't impact your employment, okay? Would you like to have dinner with me? Not a business meal. A genuine date. Emma's heart skipped. Michael, are you certain? I have complications. A child, chaotic schedule, poor choices in partners. Emma, Michael interrupted gently. I witnessed my mother struggle alone. I understand single parenthood. I recognize your strength, your sacrifices. That's not a complication. That's bravery. I've desired to ask you out for months, but I feared awkwardness, power imbalances. You work for me, and I never wanted you feeling pressured, yet I can't stop thinking about you, about your courage that day, your love for Tyler, your dedication. You echo my mother in the finest ways. Emma's eyes filled with tears. Yes, I'd love to dinner with you. Really? Absolutely. But Michael, understand Tyler is priority 1. If that doesn't work for you, Tyler comes first. Michael nodded. I wouldn't have it any other way. 3 years after that morning, when Emma clutched her son's hand outside the building, terrified of losing everything, she stood in the same spot in a white dress, holding flowers. The intimate wedding ceremony unfolded in Bennett Consulting's rooftop garden. Tyler served as best man, beaming proudly in his little suit. When the officiant asked about objections, Tyler interjected, I don't object. I want Michael to be my dad. Guests laughed, and Michael's eyes welled with tears. After their first dance, Tyler approached, squeezing between them. Group hug, he demanded, and they embraced as the sun dipped below the city. Later, Emma found Michael alone by the railing. What are you contemplating? She asked, linking fingers with him. I'm considering my mother, longing for her to witness this, knowing she'd be proud. You have, Emma murmured. You've crafted a haven where people like her, like me, needn't sacrifice family for survival. You've granted Tyler and me a life beyond possibility. You bestowed something on me too. Michael said, you awakened my purpose. The enterprise, the initiatives, the success. It's hollow without aiding real people. You and Tyler demonstrated that. He pulled her close. That day I witnessed you dismissed for bringing Tyler to work. I saw my mother. I saw myself. I saw everyone ever judged for hardship, for humanity, for striving under impossible conditions. I realized I held power to set things right. You gave me that chance. Emma kissed him tenderly. We saved each other that day. Yeah, Michael agreed, glancing toward where Tyler taught other children a new game. We did. The Child Care Center originated from one desperate mother and one CEO who remembered that desperation. It now serves over 50 families. Bennett Consulting's progressive approaches inspired other businesses to follow. Every new parent entering those doors with worry found community acceptance instead. Because Michael Bennett had once been that child. He remembered feeling small and unseen in a break room, burdened by his mother's fear of losing everything. He decided no child should feel that way, no parent should choose between livelihood and family, and compassion wasn't business weakness. It was success's foundation. Emma entered that building expecting to lose everything. Instead, she discovered everything she'd never dared imagine. A career valuing her, a partner comprehending her struggles, a place where motherhood wasn't a liability but strength. Often our darkest moments birth our greatest foundations. Sometimes being fired paves the way for being discovered. Sometimes the person rescuing you sees themselves in your struggle and chooses to become the help they once required. Michael had been that child. By remembering, by choosing compassion over rules, by recognizing that real people with real challenges merit genuine opportunities, he transformed not just Emma's existence but countless families who followed. That's the consequence of recalling our origins, of wielding influence to uplift rather than condemn, of perceiving our shared humanity and opting to be the support we once craved when lost. Michael had been that invisible child in the break room. Now he was the man ensuring no child remained unseen again, and that altered everything.